George H.W. Bush's spokesman, Jim McGrath, told the Associated Press in a statement regarding the Weinstein-esque sexual harassment incident of an actress from H.W. Bush's wheelchair, President Bush would never, under any circumstance, intentionally cause anyone distress.
Private network run by George Bush and Ollie North, not the CIA. You won't find the records in the CIA. They're not there. They're in these privatized intelligence agencies. Will you pursue that? Will you pursue Ollie North and George Bush and the massive documentation? All these gentlemen, like this gentleman here, the co-defendant of Ricky Ross. Ricky Ross is doing George Bush's time.
And he most certainly apologizes if his attempt at humor offended Ms. Lind. McGrath might as well just say it's former President George H.W. Bush, and there's nothing you or anyone can do about it. His father, Prescott, had his assets seized in 1942 under the Trading with the Enemies Act for being a financial architect of the rise of the Nazis in cahoots with German steel magnate Fritz Thyssen. But nobody paid any attention then. The Bushes are skull and bones. Go back to sleep, America. Sorry, Jim, we're wide awake now.
People online had the clip of Donald Trump up there speaking, and then on split screen on CNN, George Herbert Walker Bush 41, doing a throat-slitting motion. Amazing. And I know that your mom's Sicilian, so you can speak to this. You were just, in fact, we're showing the throat-slitting now on screen, and, you know, Barbara has openly talked about, if you mess with my family, I'll kill you. This is the true American mafia beyond any Sicilian, La Cosa Nostra, or family. But you were bringing this up as a final point about how creepy these people are.
My 91-year-old mother, who watched every bit of it, said to me, boy, George Bush sure don't like your friend Donald Trump. I said, what do you mean, Mom? And she told me about it. Then I called one of the Trump advance men, who happens to be a friend, and I asked him what happened, and he said, no, it was very clear that this was directed towards the boss. Then asked, and then they edited it out of the CNN footage.
Yeah, he looked right at Trump when he was, and just says, I'm going to slit your throat.
Right, which is reminiscent, by the way, of in the famous Robert Caro book, when Caro asked a vice president what he thinks of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Johnson does the Sicilian slitting motion across his throat.
Your choice between a Republican and a Democrat is a total fraud. Either way, they win, and the globalists maintain control. That's why a third party is so dangerous to the power structure. They don't want you to have a choice.
Hey, Darren, don't forget about the Bush family connections to the Bin Ladens.
I hear you, and it's a lot for some people to digest right now, but I'll even take it a step further and talk about Prescott Bush, who is the father of Bush Sr. and the grandfather of George W. and Jeb. He helped finance Hitler's rise to power. He kept doing business with the Nazis even after the start of World War II.
The Daily Mail reported Heather Lind, 34, who starred in AMC's series Turn Washington Spies, made the allegations against the 93-year-old former president on Instagram in a lengthy post with accompanying photos. Lind alleges, when I got the chance to meet George H.W. Bush 40 years ago to promote a historical television show I was working on, he sexually assaulted me while I was posing for a similar photo. He didn't shake my hand. He touched me from behind from his wheelchair with his wife, Barbara Bush, by his side. He told me a dirty joke. Heather Lind should know. This isn't Hollywood. This is a far more sinister arena. Sexual harassment and politics go together like coffee and donuts. Just ask Hillary Clinton. Here she is getting her dose of the old butt slap of diplomacy from former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Now, if we can just have Terry Hatcher explain this video of HW back in 2008, we could possibly get the ball rolling.
Times reported today that unidentified White House aides in the Carter, Reagan, and Bush administrations now are being investigated for using the services of a call boy ring.
Of course, it's not going to happen in any of our lifetimes, but an investigation of the debauchery at Bohemian Grove would make Harvey Weinstein's tomfoolery look like the antics of a choir boy. John Bound reporting for Infowars.com.
Let's go to Debit in Florida. Debit in Florida, you're on the air.
Great. Hey, thank you so much. Listen, I have bought your product, and I gotta say they're amazing.
Thank
Anyone
you.
who's on the fence, buy it, because I've got Caveman, Superman Vitality, Secret 12, Vitamin Mineral Fusion. I've got the body armor.
Wow, thank you.
Wow.
You're the type of listener that makes it all possible. Which nutraceutical does you like best?
I really like the Vitamin Mineral Fusion, to be honest. That's
It's amazing.
really incredible. I drank it in the morning, and I swear to you, I felt incredible. Like I haven't felt in a week. My morning was fantastic, and I love you guys. I love the InfoWars crew, and I just want to, I want to take this opportunity to tell anybody out there who's on the fence. Just buy it. You will love it. I'm telling you, I've never bought a bad product.
What you find in our news is the same thing you find in our products at InfoWarsLife.com. It's a win-win, InfoWarsLife.com.